You know what my motto is? There's a bitch that turns 18 every day, okay? So you need to be on your shit. And I'm not finna be the bitch that used to be the cool bitch. No, I'm gonna always be the cool bitch forever and ever and ever. And y'all gonna know me as being the original cool LA bitch. That's just what it is. I'm never gonna be like washed. I'm never gonna be like in the past. I'm always gonna be like the one. Like I'm the blueprint. Like I know y'all know that.
Beauty is a true blessing, but what happens when beauty is all that you have? What happens when you prioritize your looks over everything else? What happens when you don't quite know yourself yet, but you know that you have a face that will kill? You guys ever heard the saying that a pretty face hides ugly secrets?
She very much knew that he was my husband at the time. She knew me, she knew him, she was out with us both as a couple. So I want to make that very clear. I don't want to go back and forth about that. I know a lot of people were like, well, she didn't know, so it's not her fault. No, she knew. Okay, that's that. That's the other thing I want to add is that this happened in 2021. 2021 is when she slept with my husband. Okay, she sits across from me. She introduces herself, and then we start talking. And she asked me like how long I've been married to my ex-husband, where we met, where we're from, and also like where we live. For the next 4 weeks, like he's always saying that he's working late, and that he also can't come home on those nights because YG lives too far, so it's making it real difficult. And also they're drinking and smoking, so you know that's just, he just can't come home. And then every time he comes back home, like he has like Balenciaga and Cartier, and I'm just like, so boom, I decided that I'm going to log into his iCloud through my iPad. So now I do that, and now I have access to all his like his messages. So he says he's gonna go to work, and I already copied his iCloud to my iPad. So as soon as he goes, I'm like looking through everything, and I'm like, oh my god, I was right. I looked at it, and he was sleeping with her. She was telling him like, oh, did you tell her you were going to YG's? Yeah, okay. Do you think she bought it? Yeah, okay, cool. How long are you gonna be here in? I'm about to put this on you. So I followed his location, and it took me to like a big building, like condos or whatever, but it didn't tell me what apartment he was at. It just said that he was in there. So we stood out there for like 2 to 3 hours. He never came out. We had to leave. I wasn't about to be sitting out there the whole time. On my way there, I told him like, I'm on my way home. I know where you were at. I know what you've been doing. I know who you've been with. When you get back home, all your stuff is gonna be bleached and burned. Our marriage is done. I did forgive him. Honestly, I did forgive him. And we worked on our marriage for about 5 months after that, but I never could forgive him. Like, I tried to forgive him, and we worked on it for a couple months, and I never could forgive him. Like, I never could love him the same.
You really take a moment to really understand that quote right there. It really holds very significant value. That part about being a beautiful woman or growing up, just being a woman in general, is that a lot of the times you are targeted and you are seen as fresh meat.
A big fan of India Love.
Who?
India Love.
Oh, right.
And I was just wondering, what did it smell like in this picture?
Shit, that's, yeah. So, you know, for me, what I would say is that India had a pretty floral smelling.
That's what I imagined too.
Yeah.
I was telling everyone I bet it smelled like roses.
Yeah, man, something along that line, man.
Got embarrassed in front of the whole entire world. I was sitting there with him, and I look, and there's a van with a big camera. Then he goes, well, guess you're gonna see us on the vlogs tomorrow. That has never happened to me before, and the fact that I found out and did all this stuff was like, no, that really didn't happen. Like, don't believe it. Like, those pictures and that headline was excruciating. I was so hurt and just so, like, dying inside. I personally think that he knows that my name's under this, so he wanted to keep his name tied to mine. Why the would you do that to me when I was, you're down? I will never, ever, ever in my life, ever, ever, ever.
As they will say, when you are young and you are naive, you don't really know how evil this world is until a little later on in your life, which we see with India. I wanted to use India as an example because, as you guys know, she is a it girl. She was the it girl back in the day, in the Tumblr days. Everybody wanted to be like her, and all the guys wanted her. And now that India Love is now 29 years old, she is definitely opening up more about her past regrets. She's speaking on things that she would have did differently when she was younger. She talked about being taken advantage of and just being basically young and naive.
I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot in my teenage phase. I went through a lot in my 20s. I made a lot of mistakes, and there was a lot of people who drugged me through the dirt for it. And I believed it for a long time. I wasn't nice to myself because of what others said about me until I knew who I really was and whose I really was, which is yours, Lord. Now nobody can shake how I feel about myself. Nobody can change how I feel about myself. Nobody can change how I view myself.
The scary part about being a young woman or a woman in general is that a lot of the times people will see your beauty as something that they can purchase, or they see your energy or your time as something that they can purchase. They no longer see you as a person, they see you as an object that is able to be used if purchased. A lot of things seem transactional. A lot of relationships seem unreal. This is why it is so important to actually know yourself and get to know yourself, because you will find yourself in situations where you are compromising who you really are at heart. You are now using your looks as a tool to get you to that next level. Like they say, the P is power. But how powerful will you feel? How powerful will you be at the end of it all? Just think about it. This is why I am showing you guys clips of India Love speaking on how she fell victim to her beauty.
Like, I made a path by, at first it was like organically being like, I was a teenager Tumblr. It was like tomboy swag, like blah, blah, blah. Then I got my sexy on and started like really like showing off my body, showcasing my body. That's not the right path to take. If I could go back in time right now, I promise you, God,
you wouldn't take that path?
I would not take that path.
And like I said in the beginning, you know, at first it might seem like it's just harmless, you know, okay, I'm getting what I want out of this. In the end, it will be draining to feel like nobody is genuine when it comes to you. It's always transactional. Nobody really wants to be nice to you. Everybody wants something from you. Everyone wants to take from you. That's what you'll be left to deal with in the end. You'll be feeling taken advantage of.
My value, and I know my value for sure, but I don't feel it a lot, you know? I don't get to feel proud of myself. I don't feel value a lot of times, you know, because of my past mistakes, because of my past decisions. It's not all mistakes. I definitely done my, you know, just kept bumping my head, kept doing it again. But that's what life is about. I encourage everybody to understand that you're supposed to, not that you're supposed to fail, but when you fall, which you will, it's all about what you do when you get back up. And that's all God wants you to know. Like, it's never going to be an easy road. It's never going to be a straight shot. It's never going to be no mistakes being made. And you just have to always remember to get back up and, you know, ask him for his hand again.
You'll feel unworthy. You'll feel like you basically sold your soul to get a couple of dollars or get a bag or get this fame and notoriety.
OnlyFans was the most lucrative, but I stopped.
Oh, you off it
Yeah, I
now?
stopped OnlyFans probably like the beginning of this year.
Why? If it was lucrative, you should have kept running it
It
up.
definitely was lucrative, but I felt like I just didn't like going into these bigger meetings, and like once they hear the words OnlyFans, they kind of just turn the cheek, or like they have a certain perspective about you. Even though my OnlyFans content was very tasteful, it was very artsy, I did it magazine style mostly, like I was very into making it look art rather than raunchy. So I have nephews and nieces. I really give a fuck about how they feel about me and what they see about me. And it just kind of like you know, organically just was like, this doesn't feel right.
For sure.
And then you'll feel like, damn, was the shit even worth it? Now I didn't give myself to these people who didn't really deserve me. And this is why I try to always talk to my young girls and tell them, you are valuable. You are beautiful. You are worthy. And you should never let anybody put a price tag on you. You should never let anybody put anything that does not align with who you really are at heart onto you. And try to get to know yourself. You have to know yourself, or this world will eat you alive. End of the day, we all go through things. You have to go through things to gain wisdom and knowledge. But sometimes just listening to somebody and watching somebody go through something can give you all the knowledge that you need to not go down that path. A lot of things on the internet look so appealing and it just draws you in. Everything on the internet is not real. You don't know what these people are really feeling when they go to sleep at night. When they are by themselves, how do they feel? There's a lot of people that turn to substances because they can't handle all of the thoughts in their head about what they did, about the people that crossed them, about the people they gave themselves to, and just feeling unworthy altogether. It can be a lot. It could be depressing. It could be very draining, like I said. I will never tell a woman not to showcase their beauty, but use it in a right way. Use it in a way that you won't regret 20 years from now. Use it in the way that you can live with yourself at the end of the night. And one thing that I really respect about India is that she's being very transparent about what comes with this life and the things that she struggled with just growing up in the eye of the public. Being a young, beautiful woman in this cruel world can definitely take a turn, and it can turn you into a person that you don't really recognize. As you guys can see from the beginning video to the videos that I'm showing from recently, this seems like a very different person. She has grown tremendously, and I feel like at the end of the day, that's what life is all about. We all go through things, we all go through certain seasons, and we're different people in those different seasons because we've learned so much from our experiences. It's very important that the social media influencers come forward and actually show these young women that's growing up behind them the price that you just might have to pay if you lead with your beauty and look. Sometimes things can go way too far, especially when you are young. Like I said, sometimes you may lose yourself in this stuff. Like, it gets that serious. You might lose yourself and you might look in the mirror and you don't even know who you are anymore because you're just so far gone and so wrapped up in the social media, and you're so wrapped up in this beauty standards, and you're so wrapped up in not being a washed up girl, like India said in the beginning.
Through the roof. Really? Yes. What do you mean? I'm always changing something about myself. Y'all don't ever realize that or notice that? Always changing my hair, always getting tattoos, always getting piercings. I'm still learning self-love. So I've been the girl who just relied on a guy to make me know and feel secure and thinking I'm all that because my nigga think I'm all that. Like, no, now it's time for me to look in the mirror and be like, okay, what do you like about yourself? Name it. Say it. You know, say it out loud.
That's so big.
Like, I pick at myself so much. Like, I want my eyebrows to be bigger, and people love my eyebrows, and I'm like, no, they need to be longer. My edges, like, I pick at myself. I pick myself apart, literally. So it really, like, bothers me sometimes when people be like, she's so cocky, she's so arrogant. Like, y'all don't even understand. I'm literally, like, convincing myself to step in confidence.
It's just not healthy overall. It's not healthy to want to be competing with 18-year-olds or feeling like you will be washed up. At the end of the day, everybody has their time to shine. It's called evolution. You can't, it's just what it is. It's life. Yes, somebody turns 18 every day, but at the end of the day, life goes on, and you should want to be better than you were when you were 18. We are constantly evolving. You should never have to feel like you're competing with the younger women that's coming up. Guide them in the right direction, especially if you have a big enough platform like India Love does. I'm glad that she's using her platform for that now, guiding these young girls in the right direction and sharing her story. You know, she's getting sober now and she's getting closer to God now. It's a lot of things that she's battling within herself, as she's expressed to us on her Twitch. This is just the reality what a lot of women go through, especially young women. And you get older and you realize that you wasn't very nice to yourself. You didn't give yourself the grace that you deserved. You didn't give yourself the respect that you deserve. And then you spend a lot of time trying to heal yourself. We all have things that we have to heal from, but if you're looking at this video right now or you're inspired by any influencer or anything, make sure that you really do a deep dive into their life and look beyond the surface, because a lot of these people will show you things on the internet to lead you right down the wrong path, lead you down a road of self-destruction and self-hate and insecurity. So like I said, I am making this video to just spread awareness to our young women that's coming up behind us, because at the end of the day, we can't control everything, but one thing that we can do is use our platform to spread the right message and steer our young women in the right direction. But until next time, I love you guys. Thank you for all the support on the channel, and subscribe to become a billionaire. Bye.